This is Sarah Finkelstein, and welcome to the Sarah Finkelstein Show, where the next 10 minutes can change your life. Today's topic that I want to go over with you is common mistakes that are very easily avoided. So let me share my screen with you. So, what are those common mistakes that people make, which are very easy to avoid? And maybe you might know some of them, but nonetheless, let's go through them. Very commonly, sometimes we end up paying our bills late. Not intentional, we may forget about it, but it has dire consequences. We get late charges, we lose money that way, we spend money unnecessarily on those late charges. Now, this is very easily avoidable. There's a few ways that you can avoid paying bills late. For one thing, it's very common to do bill pay electronically. In other words, you can set your monthly payments to go out automatically from your checking account. If you're one of those people that does not like to do that, then you can set yourself a reminder, like putting it on your calendar. Whether you like to use a digital calendar or a paper calendar, you can put it right there to remind yourself. You can also remind yourself in other ways, and I'm sure you can think of those ways. But setting yourself a reminder is a good way to avoid unnecessary charges. Bounced checks. Now, you probably know if it ever has happened to you that the bank does charge you a fee for a bounced check. It could be $35, it could be $40 for each bounce check that happens to you. So, for example, if you think you have the money in there, or you think some deposits have already cleared or are due to clear, and you write those checks and it just hasn't cleared as yet, let's say it's two checks that you've written out and you don't have the money cleared in your account. Well, that could be $75, $80. The bank loves it because that's a good profit for them, but it's not good for you. So it is a good idea to avoid having bounced checks. Another thing you might want to consider doing is to have overdraft protection in your bank account so that if you do write a check and the money hasn't, your deposits haven't cleared, or you don't have the money sitting there, the overdraft protection will make those checks paid, but you will have to pay a fee for that, yet it's usually a lot less than a bounced check fee. Credit card balances. You know, it's a funny thing with credit cards. That plastic card that we have in our wallet, some people have many of them, some people have just one or two. And oftentimes we feel like when we're not taking cash out of our pocket to pay for a purchase, we don't even feel it. Isn't it weird? But it happens quite a lot. And some people carry balances on their credit cards. Now, the idea is to pay off your monthly credit card balance in full so that you don't have an oncurring outstanding balance. What happens when you don't make your payments in full? Yes, the credit card company charges you interest. Sometimes the interest could be rather high. It could be 15%, 20%, and sometimes even more. Again, this is great profit for the credit card company, but it's money coming out of your pocket that you could have used for your own financial betterment, for your own financial well-being. Now, if you can't pay your credit card balance in full, then definitely pay more than the minimum amount that the statement shows. Some people think that carrying a credit card balance is good for your credit score. I'm not so sure about that. Big problem here is not saving for your future, or not saving enough for your future. It's very important to save for your future, for your retirement years, for the years, as they call them, your golden years. And typically, it is recommended that you set aside at least 10% of your income for your future, and treat that like a bill. Pay yourself that 10%, save it, put it aside, don't touch it. You won't see it, you won't feel it, but it's an excellent habit to get into. And it's also an excellent habit to teach your children and grandchildren to start saving for their future. I see high wage earners feeling that the income that they make will stay with them for the rest of their life. If you're one of those people that's earning maybe $300,000 or more during your working years, and then you retire, typically you will not continue to earn that kind of money once you're retired. So therefore, again, it is very important to save money from your earnings for your future, because once you retire, you may be living on less income. But the issue is you've been accustomed to a certain lifestyle, living on 300 or 400 or more per year. You get used to a certain lifestyle. You want to maintain your lifestyle. And you have to be realistic that chances are you may not be earning that much money or taking in that much money in your retirement years. So what do? You have to plan ahead. Remember, Benjamin Franklin said, people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. And you're probably tired of hearing me say that, but I continually repeat it because it's so important. So if you want to maintain your lifestyle in your retirement years and keep up with the costs of inflation, it's very important that you set aside for your future. So do not think that you will continue to earn that same income when you're no longer working. You need to plan and plan appropriately. And in the old days, people used to have what's called pension plans. In other words, their employer guaranteed them a certain income every month for the rest of their life in their retirement. Most people don't have access to pension plans anymore. Yet, did you know there is a way that you can create your own pension plan? And I strongly recommend looking into that. Here's another big mistake that people make, which is not planning for your healthcare needs in retirement. As we get older, typically, our healthcare costs are going to go up. When we're in our 70s, we'll likely have issues, health issues, that we didn't have in our 20s and 30s. And so we need to plan appropriately. so that we don't hurt ourselves financially and we don't hurt our loved ones financially. So we need to plan appropriately for extended healthcare costs in our retirement years. It's all about planning. And for those individuals that think it won't happen to them, and I hope it won't, but more likely than not, you will have extended healthcare costs in your retirement that could potentially wipe out your whole retirement plan, everything that you've saved for your financial future, for your golden years, your retirement years. It all comes back to planning. And for those of you who have not taken advantage, please go to www.financialfitnessforever.com and grab a report with some important financial tidbits. So please do that, and do that now. You can just go there and download the free report. I thank you for joining me on the Sarah Finkelstein Show. And for those of you who know someone that happens to be a baby boomer who's going to be turning 65 within the next year or so, please tell them that they should go to www.yourmedicarelady.com. Yourmedicarelady.com. That is a website specific to Medicare, and that's me. I'm an independent Medicare planning specialist. Very happy to help those individuals across the country understand Medicare, how it works, and what their options are, and which are the most appropriate plans for their needs and their budget. And if you have questions about anything, feel free to call or text.